I've literally just started Jerusalem's Lot. That it is a letter, and the first paragraph is just. I've never thought that would be in like a letter. Oh, just let me attend to my bodily functions, and then I will read your letter. What? This is one hell of a first paragraph. I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing at it. Imagine writing a, a return letter starting off going, oh yeah, I saw your letter on the table next to the door, and I really needed a pee, so I did that, and then I came back to decipher your letter. Just what? What?
Hi, Shell, and all you other wonderful weirdos watching. Welcome to the very first in Short Story Saturday. I don't know how long this is going to go for, but we'll see. It's kind of an experiment for April, but I'll see if I'll get past April. So for this first episode, not gonna lie, I had to read this with an audiobook alongside the physical just to like, I could not concentrate after the first chapter. Seriously. How good it is to step into the cold, drafty hall here at Chapelwaite, every bone in an ache from that abominable coach, in need of instant relief from my distended bladder, and to see a letter addressed in your own initial inimitable scrawl propped on the obscene little cherrywood table beside the door. Be assured that I set to deciphering it as soon as the needs of the body were attended to, in a coldly ornate downstairs bathroom where I could see my breath rising before my eyes. Stephen, this is an opening to a letter between friends. I know they're the lads, but I'm pretty sure they don't open up with... I'm pretty sure they don't start their letters with, I needed to pee, so I'm just gonna do that and then I'll look at your letter. I'm pretty sure they don't start like that, but I couldn't concentrate after that. So I put on the audiobook and I made myself get through it. It's just like stupid, but at the same time, I kind of like it. It's just daft. It's daft. And this is supposed to be a horror story, so yeah. So we are following Charles Boone, as he's just arrived at his new home that he's received off his cousin Stephen. And now, well, the town kind of doesn't like that, and things are going wrong now that he's arrived. Everyone's taking it as bad omen, and there's this town just a little far away, just a little bit away, called Jerusalem's Lot. The story that we are talking about today. It's definitely a really good descripted horror, but I will say I wasn't scared, mainly because I was dealing with my phobia yesterday. So anything supposed to be scary is not going to scare me, because I literally dealt with a real life problem that just couldn't. I was shivering through a lot of yesterday and this morning because of what happened yesterday, so this was not scaring me. But quite honestly, it kind of feels like I've gone from phobia, step down, step down, step down, just take your time getting back down, and it's just like, it's fine. The descent down is fine. But I did enjoy it. It was a good short story based off... It's just a bunch of letters to Bones, which kind of was just... I have that Star Trekian mind, so of course I was going to like it. But I wasn't picturing that at all, because I was just like taken by the descriptions of Chapelwaite and just how this town is responding to Boone. And because there was the cleaner called, what's the name? Mrs. Cloris. So Mrs. Cloris literally laid down the groundwork going, yeah, no, this is a bad house. They couldn't get wood from the woodwork and he started throwing storms. So yeah, they literally are pariahs in this like place because of all of the bad omens that are happening. And when they get to Jerusalem's Lot to investigate this abandoned town, oh, that was pretty interesting. And I could actually start feeling like the ground move because of how so descriptive it was. It was really good. I enjoyed this short story. What can I say except I liked this book, and then the ending, I love one of those endings where it's just like, it's sorted, it's sorted. Nope, it's gonna happen all over again because you missed something. That is one of my like fears, is like if you do something that will take your life but you've missed something there, so what you're doing is like in vain. Oh, but it's really good, and it is really really good. It's just everything that has happened is like justified to people coming in and seeing it with a critical eye, going, no, this person was just going through a lot, and he just descended in his mental state. He was the one that killed this person, and then at the end, it's just like, I will be out to get the rat inspector. There's some pretty large rats in the walls from what I'm hearing. Nope, that is literally, it's starting all over again. It's I love that ending. It is pretty horrific. Also, the description of what's in the basement. Ooh, I was not expecting what was in the basement. I was like, what could these two men be freaking out about so badly? Because this is very like Christianity, finding devil worship type of story, and I don't really like that anymore. I mean, it was like a thing that I think it just got overdone after a while. So I'm not affected by it. But the thing in the basement, that actually was really good. So they actually, after discovering everything, when they went into the basement, when Boone went into the basement, because we have like the after stories, so it's literally, we know that they got out because of the letters are being written, but it's also like found pages of Boone's letters as well as Calvin's like journal. And so when we get an empty gap from Boone's letters, we've got Calvin coming in. Why am I saying Boone? Why am I saying Charles's last name but not Calvin's? Right, I'm just going to first name it. So we've got Charles's letters and we've got Calvin's journal. And so Calvin is kind of filling in the little gaps, because it's only like 40 pages. And it's like, I'm just realizing now that 40 pages is not a lot, but at the same time, a lot happens and there's a lot of description. There's so much description in this book. I'm actually pretty blown away about how effective this short story was. Like 40 pages, and it is like so full of detail, so full of descriptions. Like I could feel like the hairs stand up on end just from describing this eerie town and just going into the basement. It is that good a description. And oh, do I talk about what they found in the basement? I think I'm going to talk about what they found in the basement. I was not expecting that, but it makes sense. It makes sense. So they're literally going down into that dark, dank basement like usual horror stories do. But because of the lore of this place, we have a few people have died there. And apparently they've stayed there, moving around in the walls. And they're in the basement and clawing at them. They want them to join. Oh, it was so eerie. It was so eerie. And it was so good. Ooh. So I really enjoyed this so much. Just because it was the right amount of eerie. Quite grotesque, a little bit. Just because they're still there. The dead is still in the walls. Then they're crawling around. I am kind of also really happy that I was reading this in the morning in spring and it's nice and bright. If I was reading this in October time, I don't think I would be able to sleep. So it's good timing on my part to be reading this in spring. But literally, this really cool story was written in 40 pages, and yeah, it is really good. It is very jammed full of eerie descriptions. I love that. It was so effective. Plus the audiobook, the just was really effective at the same time, because the audiobook I found is this one here, and they had music at the same time. But there was also a slight disconnect because there was more stuff in here than there was in the audiobook. So all I'd have to do is like pause it and then just read it. It was like 2-ish paragraphs, but it was still like noticeable. But yeah, I found the audiobook really effective. They did a really good job of that, as well as like finding the eerie sounds for it. And I think it just went brilliantly hand in hand reading it. It was so cool. I'm not used to reading like letters come together to form the story. And apparently, it was inspired by Bram Stoker's I like Dracula, and I've not read that yet. And I'm just like, now I'm intrigued. Now I'm intrigued by Dracula. I think I have that at my parents'. That was a quick mini short story Saturday. Just my quick thoughts on this short story for my little experiment in April. Might actually keep going with it. So the next short story in this collection is Graveyard Shift. No, I did not read the introduction, and no, I did not read the foreword. Should I? But yeah. So this is the copy I'm currently reading. I'm actually very, very intrigued to read the rest, this because there's 20 stories in here, and I'm very looking forward to them. Because the thing about a novel versus a short story or a novella is just you can master like concise information and detail in the way that would be too long or dragging. So you'd have to be so selective. And I think King pulls it off brilliantly. And I cannot wait to see how far it goes. Should I read the introduction and forward? I'm not really in the habit of doing that, but should I? Have you read Jerusalem's Lot? Has anybody read Graveyard Shift? Because we've got Graveyard Shift, Night Surf, I Am the Doorway, The Mangler, The Boogeyman, Grey Matter, Battleground, Trucks, Sometimes They Come Back, Strawberry Spring, The Ledge, The Lawnmower Man, Quitters Inc., I Know What You Need, Children of the Corn, The Last Rung on a Ladder, The Man Who Loved Flowers, One for the Road, The Woman in the Room. Don't think so. It's gonna be this is very weird for me. I'm usually like got long like videos, but yeah, short story Saturday, quick fire videos. This is gonna be interesting. Any King fans out there? And are you familiar with this short story collection? Anything you're excited to hear my thoughts on? What by the time I get to it? Bye, Shell, and bye to all you other wonderful weirdos watching. Have an amazing weekend, because I am looking forward to the next short story.